Hi. In my younger days, in my late teens, I did a lot of traveling. I traveled all over Europe and North Africa. And I spent a lot of time in Rome. And I got there shortly after John Paul II ascended the papal throne. And, he came on the heels of a pope that only lasted 30 days. And, of course, the big rumor back then was that they had poisoned, the fellow cardinals of the new pope had poisoned him because he wanted to change things too much. We'll certainly never know if that's true or not. I happen to not think so. It's got to be a strain to go through the whole process of being crowned and brought to the people, and these are older men usually. I found out that under St. Peter's Basilica they had been doing some digging for a new boiler they were going to put in. And in the process of the digging, they dug, and this dirt collapsed, and there were these mosaics on the wall. And the mosaics were the parables of Jesus, the mustard seed, I believe, the fishers of men and stuff like that. Really, it was quite amazing. And you had to get special permission, and I did. And I think my family may have pulled some strings in getting me down there. So anyway, when I was trying to find my way out after I was done sketching, I got lost, and I saw this light, and I managed to get up where they were putting this new shaft in, and go up into this beautiful garden that had this collection of the most amazing plants I had ever seen. And being a southerner, we love our flowers, and they had orchids and all kinds of things hanging around there that were obviously collected from all over the world. And I was wondering, why people weren't in the Vatican gardens. Well, it turned out it was the Pope's garden. And lo and behold, 2 Swiss guards came out with the big man with the white hat, the white slippers, and the long white dress, and 2 guys in black suits. And of course, this was before he was shot. So security wasn't, I guess, as intense as it later became. I don't think this ever could have happened after somebody took a shot at him. And that was a real shame. But still, he managed to bring down communism in Eastern Europe, and he was the linchpin for that. But anyway, he addressed me in German at first, and I think it was the way I was dressed. The way I stick out wherever I go. But anyway, so we started talking about the Nazis in Poland, the communist takeover, his days as a priest. I mean, we just kind of touched everything. I didn't know at that time that he had been an actor. And I told him that, I was good at comedy roles, but I stunk at dramas, and I did. The Desperate Hours were pretty desperate with me as Dan Hilliard. But anyway, he told me with regard to dramatic roles, and I applied this to my poetry. He said, draw from the pain within yourself and turn it into something of beauty. And I was like, wow. And looking into those eyes of his, they're the most amazing eyes I have ever seen on a human being. There was depth, and this is a tremendously spiritual man. I could not get over the way how grandfatherly he was with me. And, I had always assumed that any Catholic could get to the Pope if they wanted an audience. I was raised Buddhist, and I didn't become a pagan until my 20s. And when I told him that I was Buddhist, he said, I will pray for you. And we talked for a while about America. He had planned at that point to go to Boston, and he wanted to know about Boston, so I told him. And after about 45 minutes of this, he started getting signals from his escorts, who took me to the security office afterwards, wanting to know how I got into his garden. And I told him. And it was no big deal. It was obvious that, I was an accidental tourist. It is true, I have been fortunate in my life and, meeting and knowing many notorious and famous people. And I think one of the reasons why I fit in, and people need to remember this, is you don't fawn all over them. You just treat them like human beings, well, I'm not going to say that. They put their pants on one leg at a time like everybody else does. So anyway, that's what it was like meeting a pope, and it was a remarkable experience for me. And anyway, this is Hugh Slunberg, the Fairy King, wishing you a wonderful life. Thank you.